I don't think I've ever been so disappointed in a film before. I've loved films, I have hated films, but being disappointed in one, I don't think that's ever happened to me before, where I'm just looking at this movie saying, I am so disappointed in you. What the hell happened with this? Collateral Beauty, released in 2016 and is directed by David Frankel, who has also directed films like The Devil Wears Prada, Marley and Me, and Hope Springs. And this film has an all-star cast of Will Smith, Edward Norton, Keira Knightley, Michael Pena, Naomi Harris, Jacob Lattimore, Kate Winslet, and Helen Mirren. All of these actors deserve to be held to some pristine. Why the fuck did they sign on to this movie? First, let me tell you what this movie is not about. Will Smith plays the owner of a very successful marketing company, but is going through severe depression due to the tragic sudden loss of his 8-year-old daughter. The man feels like he's just going through life as an existence, but not impacting anyone around him or giving two shits about them. And to help him cope with his loss, he writes letters to 3 different entities: death, time, and love. But a spiritual miracle happens to Will Smith as the 3 different entities appear to Will Smith and try to help him cope with the loss of his daughter. That is what the trailer told you this movie was going to be. That is absolutely not what we got here. What we got here is so devoid of any audience expectations. What we got in the trailer, as opposed to what we got in this film, is a blatant lie from the studio, and the studio should be ashamed of themselves with what they did here. As an audience member, I hate being lied to. This is fucking bullshit. I remember watching the trailer for this film, and I bawled my eyes out. I think the trailer, the concept of this story, I thought was going to be beautiful and brilliant, and I wanted to see this thing so bad. I wanted to see a human actually have an interaction with the concepts of death, love, and time. How many of us out there have wanted to talk to death and yell at death for something that death did to us, to one of our family members, to a friend? How many times we wanted to scream at the entity of love saying, I want so-and-so to love me, or how dare you make them fall in love with someone else? How dare you do that? I wanted to see these conversations happen. And what we got here is such a blatant misdirection. Like, I want to take a picket sign to this screenwriter's house and be like, you fucker, what the fuck were you thinking? I'm going to tell you what this film is actually about. It actually tells you, like, in the first, 10, 15 minutes of what's actually happening here. So it's not like they're hiding anything from the end of the film. No, you're told right away what this film actually is. So Will Smith is billed as the main character, and yes, he is the central figure of, what everyone is talking about, but Will Smith is barely in this thing. He's barely in this film. When he is on screen, he's actually exceptional. He tries really hard in this movie and gives some pretty vulnerable acting scenes. There's a scene in here where he just straight up bawls, and you can tell it's all real. You can tell that he's thinking about his actual children and what he would do as a dad losing them. It's beautiful to see. It's buried under this huge pile of disappointment and shit. This movie is about his 3 co-workers and co-owners of the company, Ed Norton, Kate Winslet, and Michael Pena, who see Will Smith's character go from this big CEO, popular guy, joyous guy, into this shell of himself, and because he's depressed and not going out and searching for more clients, their company is failing. So in order for them to keep the company going and for them to become owners of the company and to make more money, they hire a private investigator to follow Will Smith, and they set up a scheme where they hire actors to portray the roles of time, love, and death, because they find out that Will Smith is writing letters to these entities. It's just kind of a coping mechanism for them. This private investigator breaks into a U.S. Postal Service mailbox and takes the letters out. It's a frickin' felony. And they just laugh it off, what are you gonna do? So they hire actors. These are actual people that they send in to talk to Will Smith, and we only get 2 conversations each with both of them. They last like a minute long. It's not like we have a long debate here, which is what I thought we were going to get while watching the trailer. And then the private investigator is going to record Will Smith having the conversation with these actors, and they're going to take the video that they're recording on the iPhone, digitally remove the actor who's portraying the entity so that it just looks like Will Smith is yelling and talking to himself, and then they're going to take these videos and give it to the board of the company so that they can see that he's insane now and he needs to sign over his majority shares of the company. Fuck. It's the biggest misdirection I've ever seen from advertisements and trailers to the actual end product. This is bullshit. And what's worse is that part of me, hoped it wasn't as bad as what I heard. I had heard from film reviewers and people that had watched the movie saying, it's nothing like the trailer. You're going to be so disappointed. Don't watch this movie. So I put it off for 5 years. And I didn't want to see it because I had such a great memory with watching the trailer. And I held out hope going into this viewing. I'm like, maybe it's not as bad as everyone says. Everyone was just so caught up in the moment. Maybe it's aged well with time. No. This is bad. This is someone who watched the trailer and saw the advertisement for this film. Maybe if you're someone out there that has no idea what this movie is, and you go in and you watch it, maybe you'll have a better time with it. But I'm just telling you, from someone who was told one thing and given another, this film angered me. And the movie is so deliberate in its attempt to hide things from the audience. We have a little twist that happens at the end. I guess I won't spoil what that is, just in case if you do go into this movie. And then after that twist, we have another, I guess, abstract twist at the end, where maybe you think, oh gosh, were these people real spirits? I don't know. But you know what? By that point in the movie, because it's the very, very end, I don't give two shits. But these twists that happened, and the blatant attempt to hide things, as the screenwriter, hide things that should just happen naturally in any story-given device, but they're deliberately gone like routes all the way around what should have actually just been a straight line. It's so... Again, it felt like I'm just being blatantly lied to. Did the screenwriter really think that this was a good idea? Studio heads, the director, the actors who signed on to this movie, when they read the script, did they really read it and go, oh my god, this is going to be the next Oscar baity movie. We're releasing it at the end of the year. Of course, we'll be nominated for so many different Oscars. This is going to be so emotional for everyone. Did they really get the sense from reading it? I can't see how that's possible. Now, it's not all terrible. There are some really good scenes in here. The scene where Helen Mirren, portraying the role of Death, when she's on the subway with Will Smith, and Will Smith is talking about all of the bullshit about death and how it happens and how there's stereotypes around the idea of death and how everything happens for a reason. He gets all of that, but he doesn't care because his daughter is not here holding his fucking hand. Is an excellent scene. It's an excellent monologue. The way he portrays it is breathtaking. It's beautiful. Again, Will Smith is trying so hard, but again, it's all buried in this shell of lies. And all of these emotional scenes that Will Smith has, again, I know that he's trying so hard, but they feel so hollow. There's no connection that I as an audience member have with this character because we don't see any previous relationship or any scenes with him and his daughter. We're just told that he had a daughter and she died. And we don't want to tell you how or who his daughter is, because then that would spoil the artistic twist that we have planned for you in the very final scene of the movie. Because I'm a screenwriter, I'm an artist, I do art, that's what I write. It's such bullshit. And I see it happen, and we get to that final scene, and by all accounts, yes, it should be emotionally powerful. But all of these characters, aside from Will Smith, all of these characters are pricks. They are assholes. I don't get behind any of them. I don't feel for any of them. Some of them have life-threatening diseases. Some of them can't have children. Some of them have terrible relationships with their daughter due to a divorce. I could give two shits about you because you guys are assholes. You're hiring actors to trick your friend who lost his daughter to try to get him out of being the CEO and to get more money and to get more control over this company. He's your friend. Or at least you say he is your friend. I don't know of any friends who would do this. If any friends do this to me, I'm sorry, you're shitty fucking friends. I'm sorry, I feel so passionate about this movie. Again, there are some great scenes in here. There are some really good performances. Will Smith is really, really trying and gives some emotionally raw acting performances and acting scenes in this film. They're fantastic. They're beautiful. They are depressing. They get all the feels, or at least they should. But they don't get all the feels out of me because I've spent an hour and a half trying to find some type of connection to something here, but I can't. I was promised a film that was going to have us see different conversations with some philosophical ideas and different entities that we shouldn't be talking to, but they're physically manifested in front of us. And now we have a chance to actually have a conversation with concepts like death and time and love and get into their inner workings. Maybe get some philosophical questions going on here. But instead of that, we have a plot and we have characters that are just driven by money. And that is the saddest part. Not the exceptional acting and the emotional scenes from Will Smith. Those aren't the sad parts. The sad part is the basis of this movie, and that's all of these characters are driven by money. That's it. If you haven't seen the trailer, if you don't know anything about this movie, give it a watch and let me know what you thought. But if you were like me, who watched the trailer for this film and then watched it in real life and were so disappointed, let me know too. I know I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. This movie was such a big disappointment. I can't recommend it, especially to anyone out there that was expecting anything intelligent from this movie. This is just another run-of-the-mill, almost like a heist movie, but it's just so frickin' disappointing. I'm gonna give Collateral Beauty 1 out of 5 Blu-rays.
What? No!
And that one Blu-ray is just for Will Smith alone. Everything else here is just complete bullshit. Alright, now that we got that stink out of the way, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next. So let's take a look. I don't think there's any way it can be worse than Collateral Beauty. But it can be Transformers. That's a great callback to this channel. The very first review I released on this channel was my review of Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen. I think I've also reviewed Dark of the Moon, but those are the only 2 Transformers films that I've reviewed on this channel. This is the very first one. This started this whole global billion-dollar franchise of big Transformer explosion things, girls in short shirts, and Michael Bay being Michael Bay. This is gonna be cool. I'll get to scream Optimus again. Not gonna do it now. I'm going to save it for the review. It's kind of a tradition when it comes to a Transformers movie. So we'll check that one out next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can leave a recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter, leave your recommendation there. And if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout on the channel. And if you want me to do your recommendation as quickly as I possibly can and bypass the whole random generator that I have here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie with the donation. And if I have access to it, I will watch it and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, have you seen Collateral Beauty? What did you think about it? Were you just as disappointed as I was if you've seen the trailer? Or if you haven't seen the trailer, what did you think about the movie? I'm curious as to what you thought. Whatever you thought, comment below. Again, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you all the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Transformers. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.